Prophet Brian Carn has been caught out by one of the ladies who possibly has a child with him. And this is because of a particular point when she was a member of his church and she was later on approached. And now she got into this whole thing. It was as if they were getting into a relationship, but it looks like this is what games that Brian Carn plays. This is starting to sound similar to some lovey stuff. People that play with women that are under their ministry and use them, it's just a whole lot of things. So basically, let me give you the breakdown of the story, and then I'll play you the video where the lady's talking herself, and then I'll come back here in a second. So this lady claims that she joined this church, and after she joined the church, everything looked good. And then before you knew it, she started getting messages. She started getting approached.
This is the moment that most people have probably been waiting for, because it's like kind of like I just disappeared out of nowhere from this church. Right? This is the reason why I left Kingdom City Church. Prepare yourselves. The reason why I left Kingdom City Church is a lot of different factors. I'm gonna keep my words right and I'm gonna use my words correctly, even though I have everything documented from the very moment that I was approached until now. But I feel like I deserve to speak my truth. It's okay. It's the truth. I shouldn't be frightened or scared to speak my truth because there's fans worse than the beehive that he has. And just a lot of factors. There's some people there, allegedly. There's some crazy people that are possessive over him, right? But it's not just them being possessive. It's something that someone is doing, I have to use my words wisely, to cause these women to be very possessive, right? To the point where it drove me out. Ages of my life going to that church. And you have people that coddle the dysfunction of the leadership going around. These people are knowing what's going on and they coddle his dysfunction. I'm still going through something with this person. And there's people that sit there and coddle his dysfunction. I deserve to speak my truth, and it's time. I joined the church August of 2021. I didn't get so I went to the church August 2021. Actually, the first time I ever went was like the ending of July of 2021, but I joined officially August of 2021. However, he doesn't approach me until via text message January 2023, which I have like the receipts that I could post for that and everything. So I don't get approached until January 2023. After that, we're talking, but I feel a pull to keep my options open, even though he wants me to only talk to him because of things out there, diseases and all these things that he's saying. Mind you, he told me never to share with anyone, don't talk to about anyone, which I have a text message of his very first approach that I can attach here. I just felt like at first it was very exciting because I'm like, oh my gosh, this amazing person, like he's like a king to all these people, like he wants me. Oh my gosh, like it can be so exciting until you realize, right, that there is probably way more people allegedly that he's communicating with and talking to in the church and be out of the church. So proceed to July 2023. Beforehand of July 2023, I get asked about or presented an opportunity for a threesome, right? So I don't want to say the girl's name, but the woman had already came out about him this year. That woman, he was like, she's going to text you and all you have to do is say yes, da 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 da. Like, it was like a setup, like he knew how to set this thing right and set up the threesome.
Later on, about a month or two later, and then after that particular approach, she thought maybe he was interested in being in a relationship with her. And then only for him to now ask her for favors and all that. And she unfortunately accepted these favors. And when she did that, she got pregnant. And she then went and blocked, he got blocked. He blocked her. When he blocked her, over time, he just showed that he was not interested in thingy. He was just kind of like checking up, and he was even asking her if she was going to move and what. These people have no conscience whatsoever. Now, this is what's disturbing about Brian Carn. Before I play with the video, Brian Carn has this thing of wanting to preach about holiness. Even now and then, he wants to preach about holiness, preach about purity and what and all that. And it's interesting that he claiming to preach about holiness, the very same person who's there asking women who are pregnant of him to be removing. That I find very strange, and I also find very suspicious coming from this man. Now, that's the story. The lady says, she takes accountability for herself, accepting this whole thing and a whole role in that whole thing. But she does also note that this whole thing she's exposing because she has a child who she does not want to grow up not knowing who her father is. Brian Carn is playing games. Now, why is this becoming a bigger? Because Brian Carn has been called out for this very same thing more than once. 5 months ago, there was another lady, and this lady actually references that other lady. The other lady got into very similar situations. If I can find a video, I'll highlight it here.
All of them. Oh, her hands are no blood. It's that recessive gene.
Okay, my youngest daughter, she's on freckles.
See you later.
And like light.
See you later.
I want to see if she's smiling.
Aww.
Let me see if she's smiling.
I gotta get.
And my grandma.
Hey y'all. So I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna try to be very quick. There's still, I guess, people wondering certain things. If you haven't heard, I've said a lot, I feel like, on Larry Reid Live. Of course, still have a lot of messages, comments, and concerns. And at the end of the day, people gonna have their perspective, and that's just what it is. And I'm accepting that. I already addressed the fact that he got me an engagement ring made. I already addressed the fact that, yes, I did try to reach out and speak with his pastor before posting. I did. I forgot what else, other things I probably addressed in that live. But from my understanding, he has still not been forthcoming to certain individuals and certain people. And so that's where I'm still having the issue currently. That's what my issue is right now. And so I feel like it's not forcing me to speak up, but I am. I'm making a decision too. So I know a lot of people are saying I'm speaking up. It's harming the body of Christ, but I'm not speaking up to harm the body of Christ. In fact, it's often more so silence and cover-up culture that harms people. And
now you see a pattern. You see people that are using people for their own gratification. There's no aspect of building relationship that they're not even interested in that. Their whole goal is to benefit themselves, is to only gratify their flesh. It's only to glory their flesh. That's all it is. And that's the thing that's sticking out about what you're hearing here, is that Brian Carn seems to do this with women across the board. The biggest concern is, how many people is he doing this with? How many people is he playing these games with? people that he's claiming he loves, the people that he's claiming he cares for, and he's doing this. It's very concerning when you start to actually look back at this whole thing. Be very careful with these people. And you know, Brian Carn is not even someone we should even be warning. This guy is a Charlie of note. He's been exposed several times over these issues. His name constantly appearing in the court system over different situations. He's been called out over women issues for years. This is not the first one. For years. But people seemingly just dismiss it, think, no, clean mandams, and then they get into that position, then they find out these kind of things. Should take it with concern, and they should take it with a sense of seriousness when you hear this type of warning come out. And shout out to that lady. She said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be in rid of my child. No, you can go on, be on by yourself. I'm not doing that. I keep the child. Shout outs to her for not falling for this devil's messages. There are people who are legit horror movies. They are like literally Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg. Is Steven Spielberg the horror movie? I don't know. I know he's a film director and stuff like that. So they are literally Hollywood. Into they are a nightmare. The worst thing you can ever meet. And if the warnings don't get across, and you keep getting close to these mandems, there is no telling how far this entire schemes they pull will go.